Honestly, this may be one of my favorite DIY videos ever. A cheesecake pan, tiny glass bowls, a plastic Dollar Tree mirror, and an old silverware case became decor inspired by Pottery Barn, Magnolia, Arhaus, LoveShackFancy, and more. But the project that completely stopped me? A $5.99 thrift store find that I had absolutely no plan for when I threw it in my cart, and it accidentally solved one of the most annoying things in my living room. I still can't believe it worked. Now grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive in. When I was at Dollar Tree the other day, I was so happy to see that they brought back these beautiful mirrors because they remind me so much of the LoveShackFancy frames Pottery Barn carries. And last year, I actually turned one into framed artwork using a Dollar Tree canvas. But this time, I wanted to make an actual standing picture frame. First, I gave the mirror a quick coat of champagne bronze spray paint by Rust-Oleum to tone down the bright plastic finish and make it look a little more high-end. And for the picture, I chose one of my favorite photos from my son's wedding. I almost always order my prints from Walgreens because they constantly run photo specials. And right now, all prints are 50% off. So definitely check online for coupon codes before ordering. This time, I went with a sepia matte finish, and I love how soft and vintage it feels in this frame. Then all we needed to do was add a kickstand since the mirror doesn't have one. So I grabbed an old frame from my stash, removed the backing, and used E6000 to attach the stand right to the back of the mirror, making sure everything lined up correctly before gluing it down. And honestly, this little frame turned out so beautiful. And here's the LoveShackFancy version, and here's mine. This next project was inspired by Lulu and Georgia's bowl candle holders, which retail for $74 each. And honestly, once I realized how simple the shape was, I knew this would be such an easy DIY. I started with these tiny glass bowls from Dollar Tree that come in a pack of 4. I've heard people call them pinch bowls, ramekins, even monkey dishes, but whatever you call them, they were the perfect size for this project. Then for the base, I used a couple of PVC caps I already had left over in the garage from another project, but you could use little candle cups or couplings too. I actually found a 30-pack on Amazon that are really inexpensive. So all I did was glue the cap into the bowl with some E6000, and then I gave everything a few coats of black spray paint to add depth, and then some gold rub and buff. What I love most about these are how customizable they are. You can make a whole set for the center of a dining room table, change the color for different seasons, or even use them for weddings, baby showers, and birthdays. Really, any event in any color. And because they're so inexpensive to make, you could easily create a collection without spending a fortune. Now here's the Lulu and Georgia's version, and here's mine. Then I saw this faux ranunculus rose arrangement from Arhaus selling for $333, regularly priced at almost $500, and that's for the small version. I honestly couldn't believe it, especially because I already had everything at home to make something so similar. The flowers that I'm using actually came from my son's wedding, but you can recreate this using faux ranunculus stems easily found online, and I'll link some below. For the vase, I reused an old glass container from one of the large Bath & Body Works candles, and then I poured some clear glue from Dollar Tree to create that faux water look, which is a much cheaper option to epoxy resin. Once the glue was in, I arranged the flowers and let everything start setting up. Now, depending on the humidity and temperature where you live, this can take quite a while to fully dry. Mine has been sitting for about a week and it's almost there. So definitely plan ahead if you're making one as a gift or centerpiece. But honestly, I think this arrangement turned out stunning. And because I use similar flowers and a similar shape, it gives such a high-end designer look for a fraction of the price. And here's the Arhaus version, and here's mine. This next one isn't exactly a designer dupe, But it was way too good not to include because this thrift find accidentally solved one of the biggest eyesores in my living room. So when I spotted this ornate shelf at the thrift store, I immediately threw it in my cart. I see these shelves all the time, but they're usually white. I don't think I've ever found one in this beautiful wood tone before, and for $5.99, I honestly couldn't leave it behind. The funny part was I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do with it yet. I just knew I loved it. Once I got home, I looked them up online and couldn't believe the resale prices. Similar shelves were selling anywhere from around $100 all the way up to $500. And I remember seeing Kenzie Marie on Instagram turn one upside down and use as a book display, and it looked gorgeous. Then I thought maybe I could style it on the stove. I also considered using it underneath the microwave because it added such a pretty architectural detail. But then I looked over at my soundbar and suddenly I thought, wait, is this long enough to cover it? And I'm not even kidding. I did a full happy dance when it fit perfectly. And because of the cutout design, the sound still comes through perfectly. But now, instead of staring at a black box, it just looks like part of the decor, and I just love it. But before we jump into the next project, if you've been enjoying these designer-inspired DIYs and thrift flips, it would mean so much to me if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe because it truly helps support my channel. Ironically, at the same thrift store, I also found this empty silverware case that immediately made me think of the Magnolia Wall Cabinets I've been wanting to recreate to cover our alarm system. I could have easily built a simple box for it, but the shape of this case was just so beautiful and lightweight, and since it already opened with hinges, I knew it would be perfect. You could also recreate this project in other ways too, even using a regular frame like I did in my previous video when I turned my grandmother's vintage sequins purse into a shadow box art. But I really wanted to challenge myself and see if I could transform the silverware case instead. So the first thing I needed to do was remove the back and strip off the old finish. I used the same spray stripper from my last video, spraying it directly into a plastic bag with the case inside. And honestly, the bag trick works so much better than plastic wrap because it kept everything wet and active longer. Most of the finish scraped dried off, but I did have to go back over a few areas outside. The only problem was underneath was a very cherry toned wood, which doesn't really work with the rest of my decor. So instead of restaining it traditionally, I used a dark wax to tone down some of that red and give it a richer, deeper wood tone. Then for the front frame, I used another thrifted find from my stash. A local thrift store had actually been giving away framed art for free, which still feels crazy to me, but I happily brought home a few. This frame didn't need stripping, thankfully, just a really good sanding to remove the finish. Now the challenge became finding artwork for the front. At first I found a print of an entryway that felt somewhat fitting since this cabinet is going into our entryway. But while digging through the framed art at Goodwill, I came across this other print that completely stopped me. Art doesn't speak to me very often, but something about this one did. It reminded me so much of the Amalfi Coast with the soft Mediterranean colors and the woman sitting outside with a coffee. And when I looked it up later, I found out other prints of this artwork were actually selling for around $150. So of course I carefully framed it, but I decided not to use glass because I didn't want the extra weight on the door, and I also didn't want glare covering the artwork. Then, instead of permanently attaching the frame, I used these removable picture strips I found at Dollar Tree in the hardware section. And if you see these, grab them because they worked incredibly well. That way, I could still swap out the artwork later if I ever want to change the look. And honestly, that flexibility made this feel even more custom. I didn't do anything fancy on the inside because its only real job is hiding the alarm panel. Although technically, I could always add a shelf later for extra storage. But for now, I just love that instead of staring at an ugly alarm system, we now have something that actually feels beautiful and warm in the space. And here's the Magnolia-inspired version, and here's my take on it. This next project was inspired by this little 3-footed glass bowl I spotted at Dollar Tree. The second I saw it, I immediately thought this could totally become one of those stone molcajete bowls you see at Mexican restaurants holding salsa and guacamole. But if you try buying one from places like Williams Sonoma, they can cost well over $60, and even online at Walmart, I was seeing versions anywhere from $40. So to recreate that stone texture, I mixed up a homemade version of Mod Podge using glue and water, plus some baking soda and a little black paint. I made the mixture about the consistency of pancake batter, and the glue mixture really helps everything adhere nicely to the glass. Now the first coat is going to look pretty transparent. After building it up with about 3 coats, it really starts developing that textured stone appearance. Then for the final step, I dabbed on a softer gray color to give it more dimension and make it look a little more natural. The Williams Sonoma version is actually a bit lighter than mine, but honestly, I ended up preferring the darker charcoal tone. And here's the inspiration, and here's my version. Now technically, this isn't food safe anymore because of the finish, but I absolutely love it for storing garlic, and I think the color of the garlic looks pretty and organic against the darker bowl. It also looks beautiful styled with a little succulent on the windowsill. Now the LoveShackFancy collaboration at Pottery Barn just keeps getting better and better. I completely fell in love with their bathroom accessories because they're so soft, feminine, and vintage inspired. And I knew we could recreate a similar look using a few simple Dollar Tree supplies. In Dollar Tree's party section, they have these scalloped containers that have such a similar silhouette to the LoveShackFancy trash can. And then for the makeup brush holder, I used one of Dollar Tree's glass candle holders that they have carried forever because the shape was almost perfect. The first step was to give both pieces a few coats of white spray paint, and once that dried, it was time to start adding the floral details using some napkins I already had in my stash from another project. These napkins are 2-ply, so you'll want to separate and remove the bottom layer first. Then to avoid harsh cut lines around the flowers, I like using little water paintbrush from Dollar Tree with water to gently trace around the design before tearing it out. You can also just use your finger dipped in water if that's easier. Then using my homemade Mod Podge mixture, equal parts glue and water, I started layering the flowers onto both pieces. Once everything was completely dry, I sealed them with a matte Rust-Oleum clear coat. Since these are going into a bathroom, they may occasionally get wet. And I'll link everything I used in the description box below. And here's the LoveShackFancy inspiration, and here are my versions. I honestly love how delicate and pretty these turned out. This next project was also inspired by the LoveShackFancy floral pillar candles from Pottery Barn, but those candles can run anywhere from $25 to $40 each, and since we already have plenty of floral napkins left over, this felt like the perfect project to use them on. And if you've happened to see my Halloween video, you may recognize the same technique because I used it then to make decorative Halloween candles too. For these, I started with the Dollar Tree LED pillar candles, this time using both sizes in white. Then using only the top printed layer of the napkin, I wrapped the design around the candle with a piece of wax paper over the top. Using my mini craft iron on low heat, I slowly ironed the napkin directly into the candle. As the wax warms up, it grabs the napkin and almost embeds the design right into the surface. Once everything was attached, I trimmed the top and bottom edges as closely as possible. And to finish off the top edge, I lightly ran the iron around it one last time so those tiny edges melted down smoothly into the candle. And here's the LoveShackFancy version, and here's mine. At my local thrift store, I spotted this round cheesecake pan with a removable bottom for $1, and immediately it reminded me of the round trays Pottery Barn carries. I have several versions of these trays, and I thought it would be such a fun way to recreate a similar look on a budget. What I love most though was the removable insert because it gives you so many options later on. You could cover it with fabric, wallpaper, scrapbook paper, even something playful like those CB2 monkey trays, or swap it out seasonally with holiday prints or decorative paper. The possibilities are really endless. Before painting the tray, I pulled some handles from my stash. At first I tried gluing them on, but that definitely didn't work, so I ended up drilling and screwing them into the tray instead, which was pretty simple. Then all it needed was a few coats of spray paint to give it that warmer metallic finish, and that was it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday.